Good morning, my friends. I know it's early for some, and you'll probably be watching the replay, which is really okay. Um, I have coffee because it's early, but we have like a busy weekend, and I wanted to make sure that you got to see this last minute treat box. If you're like me, you were probably thinking, oh, I got the candy, but what am I going to put it in? And maybe you need a few little treats to hand out, not necessarily to the Easter Bunny or the basket, but you need a little something for treats. That's what we're going to make this morning. Sweet little box. So let's get right to it. I'm going to bring you down here. Here is the box that we're going to make, and it's got this sweet little lid. Now we're going to make it way prettier. This was just, let's make sure this is going to work. So it's going to work, and now let me show you what you need. And I'm going to give you the measurements as we go. I'll put this up later at the end of the recording. Sorry, it's early. And I keep forgetting my words. All right, first things first. You're going to take a full sheet, 8.5 by 11 of your favorite color. I'm using Pool Party, and I'm also using, I have a little bit left of Flowering Fields, so I'm going to use some of that. It just looks springy and perfect. All right, on the long side, on the long side, we are going to score. I'm sorry, this is 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, all right? On the long side, I'm going to score it at 2 inches. So make sure that you have the scoring blade. Score 4, 6, and 8. Now you have to take this side out of your trimmer, which doesn't want to move this morning. Neither do I. And slide it down to 8, which leaves you just a little 1/2-inch strip on this side. Okay? So there's your scoring. Can you see it? All right, and then one more. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to score at 2 inches. And this is making the base of where the box is going to sit. Okay? So we'll put that aside. And then this is the top. And this is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to score this at 3/4 of an inch on all the sides. Honest to goodness, this is the hardest part. So score at 3/4, flip, 3/4, flip, and one more. All right. Okay. So let's get the trimmer out of the way. Now, we've also cut the pieces to decorate our box. We have 4, and these are 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. All right, those are going to go on the sides of my box, and then this is for the cover. I find it's much easier if I put these on now because they're flat surfaces to work with. You can wait and do it after the box is together, but it's a little trickier to glue to something. Good morning, Carrie. It's a little trickier to score to something that's already assembled. So, to glue, sorry. All right, so I'm going to take my adhesive. I'm going to put this stuff on now. All right, so that is going to go right in the center. This is the top of my box, okay? Or it will be. So there's that. You could also stamp on this now if you wanted. Get down there. And I'm going to do the same thing, but it's going to go in this piece. Remember, there's a score that goes across? So I'm centering it right there. And I'm going to come down because remember, my cover, let me show you what I mean, why I'm doing it that way. So let me just show you. That's the score line. And I'm coming down and I'm centering my space, the space to the score line and the sides evenly, because when I put this all together, the cover's going to come down a little bit and cover 3/4 of an inch at the top. You could do this later. If you don't feel confident and you don't really like this idea, you want to wait till the box is all together, you could do it then too. There's that. I love this Flowering Fields paper because the colors just go with so many different things. And no, I'm not having chocolate for breakfast. If you notice that there's candy over here, this is going to go in my box. Or me. Hey, Susan. Good morning. Neighbor, I'm in Vermont, so you're not too far away. Okay, so there's all that, right? Now, when you're making a box, you score, as we've shown, but then you need to trim up. These are the flaps that are going to be the bottom of your box. So I'm just going to snip right to the score line. Okay, super simple. It's kind of gray here today. It wants to rain all day, which is why we did the birthday party last night for my baby who turned 34. Yeah. Okay. Goodness. I'm going to use tear and tape because that works much better to hold boxes together. And I am going to run, I'm going to do the whole piece from the bottom all the way to the top, right? Make sure that's good and stuck. And then just peel you away. And now I am ready. Make sure my box is good and scored. I'm telling you, I should have done this before I peeled that paper off, but I haven't stuck it to anything yet, so I'm good. So bend that back, right? You should have scored. You should have. Yeah, it's not very nice today, but we'll take it. So I fold that in, right? And then I bring this over and fold that right along the edge. And we are good. Okay, so now our box looks like that. And now we need to do our base. And the same thing that's going to happen. We are going to tuck in. Doesn't really matter what order that you do it in. And that one, and then this one. Now, I am going to put the last two are going to get tear and tape on them because you want to make sure that this box stays good and closed. I'm going to go right along the edge. Tear off that extra piece I don't need. And make sure that you figure out where the tape's got to go. It's got to go on the inside, right? Take you off. There, and then this one. And now our box is complete. Super cute, right? And now because we've got all of our decorations on the sides, it really is ready. And just so that you can tell, pop your candy in. Right? It does hold a lot of candy. You could even get some more. Some jelly beans. You could put some little fake grass. All right, so now we're going to do the cover. And we're going to do the same thing with the cutting. I'm going to cut up to the fold. I'm sorry, the score line. Snip. And one more. And then before you get the tape going, you're just going to fold these and score them. Why do I keep saying that? Score these and use your bone folder. Apparently words are not coming this morning. Probably should have had some of that candy. And one more. Okay, now we're going to put this all together, and you'll see these little things that we cut, they tuck inside, and that's what's going to hold your cover together. So I need to put the tape, and I could use a glue dot if you wanted, but I love the tear tape. It just works really well. So you just need little pieces, and I go kind of on a diagonal with it. You can always trim off the excess if you have too much. A glue dot will work too, and so will Seal Plus. You just want it to hold really well. A liquid adhesive will work, but I have zero patience to wait for that to dry. Okay, we're good. Now we can peel all these off. One more. All right. So we're going to tuck you inside. There's one. Tuck you inside. Get in there. Tuck you. And one more tuck. Now, if you, hey Deb, if you happen to have, like, see, this one didn't go perfect. Can you see? Ooh, let me do this instead. See, it's not perfect. Okay, it's probably not going to be noticed by the time the kids open these. It's going to get ripped. But if it's going to make you stay awake tonight, just take your snips and you can just trim that little piece off. It's going to make you crazy, right? Just snip away. It's probably because you didn't cut exactly, I didn't cut exactly to the fold, but there we go. There is our box, and it fits right on the top. Oh, but we're not done. We need a tag, right? So I'm gonna grab the tailor-made tags ties, say that fast, and I'm still going to Mr. Standby Easter Friends because I've been using that all week. Last week too. Gotta get it. Gotta use it now. And I think I'm gonna do My Friend. Now it depends. If you want one of the like the chick, this is a little box to put the bunny on, but you could put the chick. You'd pick one of the bigger tags. I'm just gonna do the My Friend. So I think it's gonna fit on this one, but I am not positive. So will My Friend fit on this one? It will. So that's what I'm going to use. And I am going to do this, I'm going to stamp first and then use my die. So I have a little piece of leftover Pool Party, and I'm going to grab my Pool Party ink. I could use any of the colors, but I am a real matchy-matchy. I'm going to take My Friend, ink her up, and I'm going to put that right in the middle so I have lots of space. Yep. Then I'm going to put this on top, right? And I also need plenty of room. I also need those little circles. These, I don't need all of them, but I need these. I think I can get 2 on here. Oh, I can. Look, that's going to fit perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to take my Post-it note so everything stays where I want it. And again, I'm using my mini die cut machine because this is a sweet little item. And there's 1, 2. Put you on top. Now my Post-it note's a little long. There's also Post-it flags. I like those too. And then I put number 2 on top as well. And you don't want them lined up perfect, or it will be hard for your machine to take all 3 in. So just kind of stagger them a little bit. See how the ends are just kind of staggered? And that will go in here better. Slide that in and crank away. I don't want to spill my coffee. Okay. And let's see, we need those 2 little spaces. All right. So now we have, move you all out of the way. We have 3, but we only need 2. And we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on you. Liquid adhesive would work really well on this too. Remember I said I don't like to wait for anything. But liquid does work really well because it lets you kind of, whoops, I'm backwards. You want the flat end on the end of the die. See? Perfect. Same with this one. Again, you don't have to, but it does give it a little security. So the tag's not going to rip off. There we go. And now I need some ribbon to put on there. Let's see what I have. I'm in the ribbon stash, so I could be wrong about this one. I'm not even sure if it's still in the catalog. I would have to look. This is Evening Evergreen, which the color's still around, so it could be. I'll check for you. And then I pop it in here. And then I'm going to tie it around the box. I want it to keep the lid on. So I'm going to, it's heavy with that candy in it. I'm going to come up and around and tie a bow around the whole box. Right? Just a knot. Need an extra finger here. Catch it. Got it. Okay, so that goes like that. And then I'm going to take my tag and wrap it around this bow. So I'm going to get a double bow out of the deal. These are a little long. And now this looks like the coolest gift, right? The ribbon on the top just finishes it right off. It's almost too pretty to open. There. Right? Isn't that sweet? And now these could be place settings. They could go tomorrow for dinner if you're having some friends over. You could hand these out. These are even going to work for May Day. May Day's coming. Do we celebrate May Day anymore? I bet my mom would remember. The May baskets that you go hang on the doors. This would be a sweet little May treat too. All right, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed weekend. I will see you back here on Monday, and I will put the measurements in the description after this video. All right? So you can make some of these cute little boxes for your